Nick Fleming RVGCR Intel Update November 13, 2024 for the latest video will be shown earlier at the official website. The USMilitaryNews.com marks via PDK. Government spokesman reveals the most important features of the Sudanese and Trump communication. This article really gets into the discussion. Trump believes Iraq can be a very calming influence in the region. They had spoken, I believe, at least 3 times since Trump was elected. The two sides stressed moving forward with relations between our countries, and they also talked about money, technology, and Iraq's role in it. You have to know Trump has an interest in Iraq's ascension and change in value. It would bring financial stability to the U.S. and peace and prosperity to many parts of the world. This is very encouraging. Question: what are we waiting on? Marks: I think we are just waiting for an announcement. I think they are on a fast track to completion. Maybe that's why we get silence and a brick wall from contacts. Mountain Goat: I see what is happening in Iraq as a final cleanup from the sanctioned days and war years. There is going to be some huge change in policy of currency exchange for international trade with Iraq. Why else would the CBI make such a drastic change in policy with the currency auctions, if the US didn't tell them to ditch the dollar and do it now? But in order to do it, Iraq needed the reforms. Reforms come first, then they can rebuild their economy. And somewhere in the new economy building phase, they strike out and delete the zeros and reinstate. So come the end of 2024, don't you think these reforms will be good enough to let the dinar finally get to 4x? I was told this is their target. Frank, 26. Ketfa bank story. This time we didn't go down. We just called the bank. We said we want to see if we can exchange some currency. And he said, what kind of currency? We said Iraqi dinar. He didn't even skip a beat. He said, well, I'm not sure about that one right now. Let me talk to my colleagues and I'll get back to you. Easy peasy. We were just kind of shocked. He put me on hold and came back and he very calmly said, sir, with the amount that you told us you have, the Brinks truck will come to your house, and they will do the exchange right there in your house, and then you'll be good to go. It will be in your bank. You'll be able to verify it on your phone, in your app that shows your banking information, he said. You'll be able to validate on a computer all that jazz that the money is in your account. They're saying we should have an accountant and tax attorney. They have a list of all that they'd be more than happy to share. I said, no, thank you. I have all that covered. It was amazing. Our jaws dropped. This was last Monday, by the way. Iraq Boots on the Ground report. Firefly Television is showing a special report about the new port and investment project. They say these ports will change Iraq's economy forever. I don't believe a program rate would give me any hope, would give me any optimism for the future, let alone for the present. Pimpy, I'm sure you've already heard about the phone call between Sydney and Trump, so there's some good things coming down the road for Iraq. Article: Sudanese and Trump agree to coordinate to stop the region's wars and meet in the near future. When the two of them spoke, this was around the time about 70 different world leaders were calling to congratulate Trump on his victory. But they were saying that when it came to Sudan, they had a much longer and different talk altogether. So why exactly does Trump want to meet with Sudan as soon as possible? Trump is going to be making a proposal to Sudan, I think that he won't be able to pass up on. And that is, he wants Sudan to help Trump negotiate some kind of peace deal with Iran. Or if he can't do that, at least facilitate keeping them under control while he is in office so he can bring peace to the Middle East. He feels Sydney is his ticket into Iran. Militiaman article. Quote, Alok says when we reach the point where everyone is headed towards using the official and fundamental channels in the transfer process, then we find no room for there to be two prices for the dollar. That's when he'll make his move. If he's not ready now, when will he be? I don't know. That's his call. It's on him to know the marketplace. When is the safest time to do it? He's saying over the passage of time, it gets shorter and shorter because the people are using the system properly. Once he changes the exchange rate, I think that market, the two prices go away like that. Snap. When the currency, the dinar hits the 4x, I think everybody's going to have an awakening. I know I will. Claire Ketfa article, A Turning Point in Financial Policies. What comes after the cancellation of the dollar movement monitoring platform? Quote, the entry of the central bank Iraq. The U.S. Federal Reserve is a supervisory body and assigning transfer operations to Iraqi banks that have relationships with major international banks, such as Citibank and J.P. Morgan, will contribute to accelerating transfer operations and limiting data, eliminating the parallel market article planning, We will start the census next Thursday, and the Ministry of Interior announces the start date of the curfew and those exempted from it. Quote, the population census will continue until December 10th, and the 20th and 21st of this month will be for the census of family members, indicating that the enumerators will visit families more than once, and the curfew will gradually be lifted from the areas where the census is being conducted. Sandy Ingram. Zimbabwe's new currency is set to trade on the Forex market. Why do we discuss why we watch the currency so closely when most of our HD investors, we watch the Zimbabwe's currency because, like Iraq, Zimbabwe had a currency where it took $1.47 to make one Zimbabwe dollar. Iraq's currency was over 3x to $1 before 2023. Like Iraq, the country ran into hardship and was devalued and spiraled downward. We watched Zimbabwe and other developing countries' currency for ideas on how Iraq may handle its currency revalue, float reinstatement, or central bank digital currency. Zimbabwe has lots of gold and Iraq has lots of oil.